you just have to control your mindset first, because once you get your first sale, you understand that you can bring the second. So it's like 15,000 for my first store, and like 6,000 a month for the second, and about 1,500 for the third one.
Hello, Anas. My name is Nadia, and I work at AliDropship. I'm really happy that you agreed to have an interview with us. And to start, can you please introduce yourself and share your background? How come you decided to start dropshipping?
All right, thank you. Thank you for joining. Thank you for having me today, Nadia. My name is Anas. I am a e-commerce entrepreneur, and I'm really glad to be present in this video right now. I'm 23 years old. I just finished my studies like for 1 month now as a civil engineer, and now I'm working my full time as an e-commerce entrepreneur here in Morocco. And yeah, that's me.
So you started dropshipping when you were a student, is that right?
Yeah, I started like 2 years now when I was on my third year on my school, and yeah, I started for 2 years now when I was a student.
Mm-hmm. How you discovered dropshipping and why you decided to try it? Have you tried like other ways to earn money online?
Before I started e-commerce, I worked as a freelancer. I worked on Fiverr. I used to translate articles and do such stuff. I didn't have any close relationship with e-commerce by any way, but one day I just wanted to try a new thing. I just had enough from freelance. I wanted to have something for my own, and the first thing that came to my mind, something that makes my knowledge as a designer and programming. I also love to sell things to people. I love to convince people to complete actions. So the first thing that came to my mind was e-commerce. And when I was starting to read about it, I found that dropshipping plan is the most suitable for me. And in that way, I read about dropshipping, I read about WordPress and then WooCommerce, and then I came upon your plugin, AliDropship.
Mm-hmm. So, how many stores do you have now? And if it's okay with you, you can share like your numbers with us, like per month or per year, as you wish.
I right now own 3 stores, 3 running stores, and I'm building the fourth one. The main one, the one I started for 2 years now, have like a 15,000 revenue a month. It depends on ads on a lot of factors. For example, in the lockdown period, you probably understood that numbers in e-commerce has raised. The numbers were high during this period. So it's like 15,000 for my first store, and like 6,000 a month for the second, and about 1,500 for the third one
Mm-hmm.
a month.
Uh, do you remember your first sale and how much time did it take to get it and to get to the point then you make like several $1,000s per month?
I actually, when I first started, I made some mistakes. That's why my first sale take like a long time to be completed. I wanted everything to be perfect on my website, so I spent a lot of time designing it and bringing new ideas. So my first sale took about, I think, 4 months or 3 months and a half. But if I can start again with my knowledge, I can bring my first sale in like 3 days or 4 days from the
Mm-hmm.
beginning.
How it
Yeah.
happened?
I contacted a customer on Instagram. Not a customer, I contacted a fan on Instagram, and I just gave them a coupon code, and they use it for the purchase.
And how much time did it take like to make like $1,000 per month from that point, from that first sale?
$1,000 per month was a when I first started. It was like on July 2018. Back then, I didn't make that much because I didn't know what I was doing, to be honest. When I started making 1,000 a month, it was on April April 2019, from back then to now.
So
Yeah,
it took some time to figure out everything.
of course, because I didn't have that much of knowledge actually.
Um, how does your business perform now? Like, how do you choose niches for a store and products for a store? Do you work with something you are personally interested in, or it's some random stuff? Like, do you have general stores or niche stores?
Actually, when I first started, it was related to my personal interests in anime, gaming, and everything unique, everything cute. But with time, when you build your audience on Instagram, on social media, you start to understand what people like and what do they love. So this is what guiding me right now. I choose my products based on my audience interests and the thing they like.
So, what promotional methods do you use mainly? Is it only Instagram or SEO or something like this?
The main traffic source right now is Instagram. I use it as a main traffic source, social media. It's working perfectly. But I also use SEO. I optimize my website from time to time for SEO. I also run a blog on my two of my websites that bring some traffic from Google. And I'm using Facebook ads. I'm using campaigns on Facebook ads, and that mainly is it. And some backlinks from Quora and some articles.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Um, ha- when you started, uh, did you have like the same line, the same methods of promotion, or you figured out how to do it later?
No, I didn't have any idea, to be honest. I didn't know that Instagram can bring that much of traffic until like about 7 months from the beginning. Firstly, I was just focusing on SEO, Google, and like publishing my store here and there on our websites and on Quora and articles. It took me some time to figure out what should I do and what should I focus on.
Mhm. And how much time did it take to manage your store in the beginning, and how much time do you spend daily on your stores right now?
Actually, now I'm not working alone. I'm working with two other persons, one responsible for related, uh, technical related, and one responsible for social media. That's they have their salaries, and I'm spending on Facebook ads also, like $80 a day on Facebook ads, and that's it. That's actually it. And some I spend sometimes on promoters on Instagram, and the hosting plans from a year to year, yearly.
Mm-hmm. And does it take like 4 hours a day or five or two, like your personal time right now?
When I first started, it took a really long time or a day because I didn't know what I was doing. It took me like 14 hours a day, 16 hours a day. I'm not even joking. But now, when I'm working with my two teammates, I barely spend like 2 hours a day on my stores. It's working automatically, and I don't spend that much of time on the stores.
Mm-hmm. Are you going to look for a job connected to your education or continue your e-commerce career? Is it like your full-time job now, these three stores, four stores?
Actually, this is my main concern now. I'm really comfortable working on e-commerce, and I just had my diploma on civil engineering. And to be honest, I'm not planning to work or look for a job. I'm just gonna finish on e-commerce because it's working good. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Did you register your business officially? Is it required in your country, in Morocco?
In Morocco, we don't have that much of information actually about this. You can work on e-commerce or work on anything online. We don't have that much regulations or laws that are concerning this. But I'm registering my business on UK. My business is registered in UK, and that's pretty easy.
Mm-hmm. So, do you work with clients worldwide or just with some countries?
No, I'm working worldwide, and my promotions also are. My audience are from all over the world. I'm not like targeting a precise country or region.
When you started dropshipping, did you get like ready store or just AliDropship plugin? How have you started it?
As I said before, I didn't spend time figuring out what platform should I use and what plugins should I use. It was like chained. When I first started learning about e-commerce, I already had in mind that I want something that where I can modify and have the total control on my website. I didn't want to work on a platform or something. So I heard about WordPress, and when I built my store on WordPress, automatically when you're talking about e-commerce, you will hear about WooCommerce. And after I heard about WooCommerce, as someone who wants to start dropshipping, I heard about your plugin, AliDropship, and that was it. I didn't spend that much time of figuring out what should I use. My main concern was on products and clients and etc.
Have you built your store from scratch by yourself?
We used a team actually, a team for WordPress, but you can consider it as a store built from scratch because we built every single thing. We gave it time. We didn't just build a random website, just like any similar website on dropshipping. We spent much time on each page, on each design and stuff.
Uh, do you use like any additional products by AliDropship, and which do you think is really helpful?
I'm using Social Rabbit, the add-on Social Rabbit. I'm also using Facebook Merchant. That's the name, right? For the add-on Facebook Merchant.
Facebook Business and Google Merchant.
Yeah, Facebook Business and Google Merchant. Those one. But mainly I'm working with AliDropship, and it's doing most of the job and most of the work. I think that the plugin is perfect, and I'm working with add-ons from time to time.
Before you started, what was like your main fears, your main concern? Like what could prevent you from starting dropshipping business, and how it turned out to be in reality?
Actually, my main fear was anyone's fear was not succeeding on your business, and my second fear was wasting time because back then I didn't have that much of knowledge. I had little of money, and I was the first thing that came to my mind when I wanted to start is, am I going to waste time because I was studying back then? Am I going to waste time on a business that won't succeed in the end and lose my time because I had studies? You understand? That was my main concern. But I just didn't thought about it and started anyway, and I'm glad I did.
What made you continue after like 4 months without sales? Why did you continue?
Uh, I can answer this in one word: hope. And I already have that mindset that I cannot turn back once I started, and once I spent like 4 months on something, I need to continue until I succeed. Nothing stopping me.
Mm-hmm. Did you make any mistakes you'd like to tell people not to follow?
Yeah,
Share
yeah.
some advice.
The first mistake that came to my mind was, as I said, when I first started, I didn't have that much of money. I already spent like about $200 on the hosting and the necessary plugins, and I was left like with $100 only. Literally, I was left with $100, and I spent it on Facebook ads without any knowledge. I just went to Facebook ads randomly. I just precised a random audience with the random keywords. I didn't make any studies. So the mistake was, and for anyone who's listening to this video right now, do not even think about starting Facebook ads if you don't have traffic on your websites, because Facebook work with data, and if you're targeting people like randomly without any previous data from Facebook, you will just be spending money randomly and not getting any results. That will happen for sure.
Mm-hmm. What changed in your life after you started drop shipping? Like, how do you feel about it? And did you expect it to become like your main job?
When I first started, I didn't expect it to become my main job because I just wanted something to be a source of income for in my life. But it turns out to be something that will make me financially independent, and I have a lot of free time. I can work from any place in the world, literally, and those are the things that I never dreamt of actually. So this is how my life changed.
Do your parents and do your friends know about uh, your business and what do they think about it?
Yeah, when I first started, I didn't tell anyone about actually. I just working in silence. It was when I started making some income, then I told my parents and my friends, and my parents are proud. Uh, my life has changed dramatically actually, and it's going good.
What can you say to someone who is considering starting dropshipping right now but don't know how to do it and is it worth doing it or not?
Actually, if someone is listening to this video right now and planning to start, you just have to control your mindset first, because it may seem like something difficult or something. And I suggest really to read a book called The Subtle Art of Not Giving a F from Mark Monson. It shows you how to control and not give a damn about your fears. It's normal to have a fear right now from failure or feeling like lost and not knowing what to do. But if I'm to tell you something, you need to start. And once you start, you don't need to stop. Whatever happens, you don't need to stop, because once you get your first sale, you understand that you can bring the second, and once you bring the second, you understand that you can bring the third, and so on, and you start understanding how you start bring traffic and how we can bring more sales. So you just have to work until you get your first sale, and then everything will seem a little less blurry. That's it.
Yeah, thanks a lot. And for our viewers, I'd like to say that you can find two interviews with Anas on our blog, and we will
Mhm.
give links in the description. Check them out. They have more details about his story you might be interested in. And thank you, Anas, very much. It's a very inspiring story.
Thank you so much.